Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Military Mondays. If you and I don't know each other, I am Major Brenda Sanchez, retired. Yay! 27 years Air Force, served active duty, reserves, and served as a spouse. And if you want to learn more about how I served on all sides of the military, you're just going to have to go back and watch some of our past episodes of Military Mondays, and you can go and watch those at militarymondays.info. So militarymondays.info. I love building relationships, especially with veteran or spouse-owned businesses, because I want to shout you out from the rooftop, and I want to get the word out about you and your business, because I truly believe that the civilian community, I hear it all the time, we'd love to support military businesses, we'd love to support veteran businesses, but they don't know who those businesses are, because a lot of times when we're military or a veteran or a spouse, we don't shout it from the rooftops that we were in the military and that we're a veteran-owned business always. So with that, today I have on my very, very dear friend. I've known Dawn for quite some time, probably like 6 years maybe now. We met networking. So if you watch past episodes, you'll understand that most of the people that I have on, I've met out networking in some form or fashion. I've been so impressed with Dawn, and I've learned so much from her since I met her. She owns Wholistic Healing Experiences, and she is a massage therapist by trade, but she's way more than that, because you think of a massage therapist and you think of your typical person who just goes and does the nice relaxing massages and that, but oh my God, Dawn's got so many tools in her toolbox to help you with injuries and pain. And I wanted to have her on. She's been on in the past, so go watch her last episode. But she's actually a military spouse of a retired, medically retired Special Forces guy. So she has a passion for truly helping people in the military currently serving or veterans to help them with their pain and find a way to do it naturally or holistically. So welcome to the show, Dawn. So happy you're on today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk about this upcoming project.
Yeah, so I'm actually one of the sponsors of her upcoming project, and it's called Warrior Trapped Within. I love that title. And it's about bringing spouses together with the military person or the veteran to help them deal with some of the injuries. So let's talk about that. Actually, before we talk about that, why people can probably assume, but why do you have a passion? You're on a mission, and I know this about you. You're on a very strong mission to help with disabilities, service-connected disabilities. So let's talk about that and why we are even having this upcoming event.
Yeah, so my husband had a parachute accident back in 2009. And so it was only a few years ago that we realized there was some concussion and brain injury associated with that. Just because that's kind of how medicine works, they're just people, bless their hearts, right? And it's easy to miss something. It's not like when your car has a check engine light and you take it down and they plug the little thing in and you like, ooh, this is what's wrong with the car, right? It's not like that. It's a lot of guessing, and people can overlook symptoms. And so, having been on this journey with my husband to get resources and wait on resources, it really has motivated me to learn more in my trade as a massage therapist on pain management, how the brain and the body work together. And so I'm partnered with Chris Gieske. He's a local veteran. He also is a fitness trainer, but what's so special about Chris is that he has focused on a program called Z Health and a couple others that are really more about understanding how the brain processes information and how that affects your body, how that affects your pain experience. And so we met together recently, and I was telling him about this, how I wanted to do these workshops and teach veterans and their partners how to do massage. um, I just realized, oh gosh, yeah, you need to, like, join me with this, and let's do this together. So I'm really excited that he's partnering with me.
I'm super excited about the event too. As I said, I'm a sponsor of the event because I am a veteran-owned business. After I retired, my husband and I help businesses with their customer acquisition and retention, and helping get the word out. So as a business owner, whether you're a veteran-owned business owner or not, if you like supporting the military community or veterans, Dawn has an amazing opportunity. If you sponsor her event at the $1,000 level, that helps what, two couples come to the class, but tell them what they get.
Yeah, so recently Chris and I were on the local mountain country radio. They have stations here in Colorado Springs and in Pueblo, and FM and AM, so you can catch them all over. But anyway, they were so gracious. They put out a partnership offer. So where if you sponsor our event at the $1,000 level, then they are going to give two veteran-owned businesses $2,000 in advertising. And I have to tell you, radio works. While we were in about a half hour doing the interview, just talking in between, segments, and we got a sponsor and we got an attendee to sign up for the conference. So if you, haven't tried, radio marketing before, this is a great way to get in and get, essentially twice the benefit.
Right. Well, you're going to get the write-off because you're donating to an event, and then you're going to get double that in advertising on the radio. I think that's such an amazing opportunity. And then let's talk about on the other side, for those that are going to attend or who can attend the event and what they're going to get.
Sure. So go to the website. It's warriortrappedwithin.com. And there's a link to sign up, answer a couple of questions there. But basically, this is open to everyone in the veteran, in the military community, whether you're active duty, whether you're retired. We're going to group people into 4 different groups. So if you have headache and neck pain, if you have low back pain, if you just want to learn more about performance, so maybe you love to run, you're an athlete, you just want to, get in there and learn more how to do performance things. And then the last group is going to be kind of brain injury related or PTSD. So those are going to be smaller groups, more bite-sized pieces of information. We're going to be really sensitive to, just things like having the lights turned off and things like that, so that you don't get overstimulated. And again, when Chris and I were going over his curriculum, you will not get this information in the doctor's office, and having this better understanding about how your brain processes threat and why you have this, people come in all the time. They're like, oh, I carry my stress in my shoulders. Actually, there's a whole lot. It's not just your carry stress in your shoulders. There's a whole piece there, and we know how to kind of hack into the brain with this, innovative science and reset that for people. And so, I think one of the hardest parts about this experience, being a veteran spouse and watching my, loved one wait for doctor's appointments and wait for referrals and, all these things, is feeling helpless. And, and if the weather's bad or bad migraine days, it just feels so helpless, and so, and I'm a massage therapist, like I know these things. And even still, and so what we're going to do is teach people how to, take that 9 out of 10 pain down a couple of notches. And then you don't feel so helpless as a spouse and caregiver. And then the other thing is, the important part of doing Chris's class together, he's actually going to do a gait analysis and teach people how to recognize, pain just by watching, your partner walk across the room. You can recognize, wow, they're really hurting today, because, it gets to a point you don't want to talk about it. It's just like, don't want to talk about this every day. And so we're going to equip people in how to recognize when their partner's in pain, to just say, you know what, let's just go lay down for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and let me do something to help that. And so we're really excited to teach more of that.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. And, it helps to open up the eyes and for the spouse to understand better what their spouse is going through, their military member is going through, which I think is amazing because education is huge. Because like I said, I've been on both sides, so I can understand the spouse side of it and what my spouse was going through when I was just, you're never just a spouse. Trust me. I so admire those spouses out there that have served right alongside the military member, especially if they've served a 20, 25, 30-year career with them. My hat's off to you. So it's never just a spouse in my book. So we want to thank you. And I'm just so excited for this event and what Dawn's doing in the community. And what she didn't talk about, we kind of alluded to it, but when you sponsor, if you decide to be a sponsor, you're actually sponsoring Couples to Go. This event is free to the veteran or the currently serving military member. So if you're in the local community and you're suffering with pain or PTSD or any of those type of things, this would be a great event for you. But better yet, even if you're not local, Dawn was telling me we actually have a couple coming in, I think she said from Virginia. So, I mean, it's a free event. Anybody within driving distance of Colorado Springs, or the flights, some of the flights are so inexpensive, since you don't have to pay for the event, pay for your plane ticket and come in and get this knowledge. And if you're a veteran-owned business or a business that wants to sponsor and help the veteran community or the military community, again, you don't have to be in Colorado Springs. As long as you can do business with the local surrounding community or with the veterans themselves, if you can do business across the US, this is still a great opportunity for you to be a sponsor. Maybe you can't be there in person, but you could send stuff ahead of time. And I'm sure I'm going to be there. Dawn's going to be there. We'd be glad to talk about your business in front of the room and give you some time and let them know how amazing you are. So is there anything else you want to share on that, whether on the attendee side or the sponsor side, Dawn?
The dates for this event are February 14th and 15th. So it's just 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Hurry up and sign up. And, we decided to do this one. The plan is we're going to do at least one of these a quarter. So this is going to be a workshop series that we're going to do ongoing. So if you aren't in a place to sponsor right now and you want to help out in the future, that's great. And we're accepting donations of all sizes. So if you just want to donate $5, that's awesome. Still go to the warriortrapwithin.com, scroll down to the bottom. There's some information on how to be a sponsor, and there's a little PayPal link that you can do. And 100% of everything coming in is going right back into this event. So, I am, that's just our heart, is for us to keep this at no cost to attendees. And, and the thing is, when you register, we're going to, like I said, we're going to put you into a different group based on your answers. So it's just the full day for you, but we're doing this on 2 days. So there's 2 groups going Monday, 2 groups going Tuesday. So sign up, and we're going to start at 9 a.m. We're going to spend 3 hours in one, with me or with Chris, depending on which group you're in. Then we're going to come together for lunch and have lunch. And like Brenda said, we're going to hear from sponsors who serve the military community, and then just some extra little info about resources for veterans. We have personally benefited from several amazing resources in the community, in the Colorado Springs community. And so just sharing some of those tools for veterans, because I think, sometimes you feel like, oh, that program is for people missing an arm or a leg, and I'm not missing an arm or a leg. And so, we'll save that space for someone else. Well, the thing is, there is plenty to go around. And if you are living with those, after effects of your service, then this is for you, and I think it was last year, there's a new diagnosis out there called operator syndrome, and it has to do with how special operators are in a high stress environment when these injuries happen. And even just veterans in general, one of the things we learned going through a brain health program is that a brain injury for a veteran, because of the stress, or especially if it happened downrange, when the stress is really high, those side effects tend to be different from, say, a football player who has a brain injury. And the side effects tend to be depression and irritability are the two biggest ones for them. And so, especially for our male veterans, I think that's a hard thing to kind of wrap your head around and to understand. And and I think society has different views on depression, right? Like, decide to be happy, choose to be happy. Well,
Suck it up.
right. If you have some trauma to your brain and your brain's trying to heal and repair, you might have some neurotransmitter deficiency where you need some medication while you're doing these other therapies. And the good news is there are so many resources out there, and you don't have to stay stuck where you are. And so keep the hope up. And that's the biggest thing, I think, is that's where my heart is to, I think it's hard for people who live with chronic pain. And then also every time you reach out for help, we literally had a doctor say, "Why are you here?" And well, we have questions about this test. Well, what don't you understand? And it's just like, okay. And then we went to another neurologist and said, "Hey, what about this, brains? What about this, QEEG and this gyrostim thing?" And well, there's we have this brain injury clinic over here in the next building, but I don't really know what they do over there. But we can give you a referral. She's gone right now in Puerto Rico doing hurricane relief, but when she gets back, she can reach out and you can see if that's something you're interested in. And this is the neurologist, right? Like the brain guy, the brain specialist is giving us these answers. And so I get it. Like, we get it. And Chris has, he's a veteran. He served in Iraq. He dealt with his own pain issues, and understanding how movement and performance can help you overcome that. And we've worked with Chris. He's helped my husband with some training, and it's just incredible, especially the migraine piece. There are reasons why you're having migraines that can't be solved with a pill. And it has to do with how your body moves. It has to do with how your ears and your vestibular system are holding your body. And so he's going to get into all that. So
awesome.
Yes, like particularly brain related stuff. We want you in the room. You deserve to be in the room. There's hope for you. And so, yeah, warriortrappedwithin.com to register, and that'll get you connected to us. So even if you can't make this workshop in 2 weeks, you're plugged in with us now, and we'll keep you informed of other things that we're going to do in the future.
Awesome. So what I would like everybody watching to do, if you would do me a huge favor, do Dawn a huge favor, and like and share this. Why? Well, like, share, and donate even just $5. If you can donate more, please donate more. But imagine the power of social media. We've seen videos go viral and hit millions of views. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could get millions of views on this video? And if we had millions of views and everybody just donated $1, this whole year would be taken care of to help veterans this year every quarter, or maybe even more often if we got that much money flowing in, that she could support more veterans and their spouses. So I'm just on a mission. That's why I had her on this morning, to help her to raise lots of funds so that she can continue to do this quarterly, so that she's not taking money out of her pocket for this event, so that she can keep it free for veterans. So even if you can't sponsor at the $1,000 level to get those radio ads, please at least go donate $5-10. It's a Starbucks coffee. Give up your Starbucks coffee for today and go help a veteran to get out of pain, to understand what they're going through better, and the spouse to get that education. So any last minute thoughts before we close that you wanted to talk about today, Dawn?
Well, I look forward to seeing you there. So, Brenda signed up as an attendee, so being a veteran, she can do that, and she's bringing Michael. And the thing too is the massage part. Yes, we're going to learn some practical things, but also what we're going to do is learn how to be in each other's space again. And I think that's cultivating that intimacy. I had a friend who said, okay, because I do these workshops in my office, and she told her husband, she's like, okay, it's either marriage counseling or going to this workshop. Which one do you want to do? And they both just left so connected and just in a different place. And so I am so excited to see that happen for all the people in the room.
I'm excited too. I'm excited to be there, not just as an attendee, but as a sponsor and help you with this event. So super excited. Can't wait for this one and all the future ones that are going to be had here in Colorado Springs. And, I can see Dawn she's got a big platform. She's got a big mission. I can see her eventually even taking this to other cities. I just know her heart. And her heart for the veteran and military community. And so this girl's got big things going on, and you want to get connected to her. So she'll put her contact information in the chat below, along with the link to the upcoming event on February 14th and 15th in Colorado Springs. And so go check out that page, go like her, go share this video, and let's get connected so that we can help more people to have a more full life, a better life, and to be able to not have to struggle every day with what they dealt with in the military and they're carrying now into their personal lives and into retirement or into life after the military. So thank you for all you do. Dawn, I appreciate you. I appreciate Chris. Sorry he couldn't be on today. We'll have to have him on another Monday morning to get the word out about his business. So with that, I appreciate you. Thanks for being on. If you're watching, again, go like and share this, connect with Dawn. And if you'd like to learn more about what my husband and I do, please reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you and build a relationship. And if you're a veteran or a military or a spouse-owned business, please go to militarymondays.info, militarymondays.info. Go watch past episodes, and why not sign up and maybe be on one of these Military Mondays, and let's get the word out about you. So with that, have an absolutely awesome week, and I will see you right here next Monday on Military Mondays. Bye, everyone.